Good morning and welcome to another Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is November 19th. I hope I have that right, 2016. My name is Lynn and I'm your host. Welcome. Welcome to the Simply Colorful studio where we do FiberCast here every week, usually on Fridays, but today we're doing it on Saturday. So happy Saturday for those of you here in New England. I am glad to be home. I just arrived back around midnight last night from Austin, Texas. I have some stories to tell, and I am thrilled to be here in the studio for an hour of sewing while Bob is outside raking leaves. So welcome, and we're going to try something new today. If you're out there, send me email to lmarquidant@gmail.com, LMARQUEDANT@gmail.com, or I'm going to open up the phone lines. If you're out there, call me. You're going to be on speakerphone, and other people out there are going to be able to hear your question. So call me with a quilting question or a sewing question, or just tell us what you're doing. The number to call is 508-341-5631. Okay, so we're doing a jelly roll race. Let me turn on my ringer so that I can hear if anyone does call. Put my coffee aside. You can see that I still have not received the top of my new island, but it's coming soon. I called them before I went to Austin. Okay, so last week we sewed a whole series of jelly roll strips together with some squares in the middle, 2.5 inch wide. Now we're going to start the jelly roll race, which basically means we're going to sew the strip together, cut it, sew it together, cut it, sew it together until we have a full quilt. But before we begin, so that our strips are staggered, we cut off about 18 inches. And if you watch Jenny Doan's tutorial, she throws that 18 inches over her shoulder, which is kind of cute. Now what I'm doing is I'm holding the top of this strip and I'm going all the way to the other end. Okay. As you can see behind me, does anyone recognize this quilt? It actually is my sister KB's quilt, who's probably either out swimming, or I realize most people are doing their errands on a Saturday morning, for those of you for which it's this time zone. But it's Karen's quilt behind me. It's the two-color delight pattern, Simply Colorful pattern. You can get it for free on simplycolorful.com. For anyone out there who has not yet done it, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and join the community, because this is all organic. It's because of you sharing and telling each other about FiberCast and Simply Colorful that we can keep doing this. So thank you. Okay. So I need to make sure I've got right sides together. I do. And now I am going to sew the whole thing. Move this over a little bit. I haven't even turned on my machine yet. There we go. Okay. After the last episode, I just turned off the machine and walked away and prepared for my trip. So I saw more of Austin, Texas and Round Rock, Texas than I ever had before. I'm going to move this down to 2.1. Concluded my trip with a lunch at Chewy's Mexican food. It was delicious. How are we doing? Is that noisy to you? Like I say, this is the longest seam. Jenny sews a whole jelly roll together in under an hour. I just love the soothing nature of sewing. And sitting here sewing sure beats raking leaves, although that's what I'll go do next. It's rocking, or it's sounding like it's knocking a little bit. That's because of this tabletop that I have. It's not secured down. It's just a piece of, what is it, Luan particle board. I should really have some music playing. Or you know what you could do? Well, no, that would not that would be less than satisfying. I was thinking you could turn down the volume. That's not a good idea, is it? That's pretty funny. Oh. This is going to be a ta-da moment in that once we get all of these pieces sewn together, cut, we can reveal the top. So what we might find actually is that maybe we'll edit this video down. Or speed it up. You know, I love how they speed that up. I spent $40 in the airport before I got on the plane. Oh, it just kills me to spend that money. I spent it on water, a sandwich, a pillow, one of those neck pillows, because I was so tired I wanted to sleep on it. I knew I had a window seat, and I bought a magazine. One magazine was $8. I can't be doing that very often. But I enjoyed it. And I listened to my Adam Carolla radio show on the way home, so that was good. And for crying out loud, this morning when I got caught up on my SNL, I watched last Saturday night's SNL show and lounged on the couch because it's 11 o'clock. It's after 11 o'clock here in Massachusetts. This would be one of those types of projects that if you ran out of thread, you could go on for a long time and not realize it. So if you happen to see that I've run out of thread, call me, text me, email me. Oh, and we had such a nice time at the Textile Tarts meeting last Saturday. We filled up a case with Christmas dolls and lots of Santa dolls. I am forever inspired by this group of doll artists. One woman, Jennifer, I don't know her last name, I should, brought in one of her Santa dolls. This is to put in the display case at the Northborough Library, and it'll be there through Christmas. It's just holiday dolls. She brought in her Santa that was on the cover of the doll magazine a few years ago. And so we not only put her Santa in there, but we put the magazine cover, so that was fun. Now we're getting into the darker colors. This is so fun. Right up here was really light. This is just going to be a comfort quilt of some sort. I was thinking about it, you know, I want to do a charity quilt. I'm not sure I'm a good enough quilter to create one to raffle off. So I don't know what we're going to do there. Maybe I'll switch it up and make a doll to raffle off. Like a doll, a fishing doll from the Cape or the islands. Someone on the beach. Kids on the beach with sand pails and shovels. That'd be fun. Speaking of which, remember I told you last week that we're making the Rosanna, Pereira. It's My Party Doll. It's called It's My Party Doll. I wanted to show you what little progress I made last week. I don't know if I showed you her body. So she doesn't stand up yet, but I put paper mache on her feet and she will stand up. And then I started her hands, and she's going to be, I don't want to say a caricature, but a more whimsical fantasy type girl. So her head's a little bit bigger, her eyes are going to be a little bit wider apart, and I'm following the pattern of this artist, right? Beginning art students, don't you go in and copy master's paintings? So it's all good. Well, there we go. Look at that. So I can't wait to show you what she turns out like. She's literally going to have a party hat, and she's going to have bloomers, and it's going to be fun. I really enjoy making these sculptures. But then, for those of you who know me, I go through I have gone through kicks in my life around these arts. And I always come back to quilting. So let me see if anyone's out there. Are you out there? Who's out there? I know it's Saturday and time for doing chores. I do realize that. Hey, Wendy, are you out there? Where am I? Hi, Wendy. Congratulations on your son's graduation. Oh, Wendy says, hello, Lynn and everyone. I won't see you live this week, but I will watch tomorrow here. Wendy is in Australia, for those of you who might remember or not. She says, hope you are enjoying your new studio. It's beautiful. Thank you. I am. I really am. I thoroughly enjoyed coming in here this morning. I have to vacuum, things are in disarray. Over there, I plugged in my laptop just before I came on here. There's just still so much to do, but I love it. And it's feeling like the holidays. Thanksgiving's coming. So Wendy goes on to say, we are playing Scrabble and watching Grumpy Old Men. I love that movie. My favorite movie, but we have also been busy getting quilts ready for the caravan. Oh, that's great. Your pinwheel quilt. Have a great weekend over your way, and cheers from Australia. Oh, thank you, Wendy. And hi right back to you and Dick and everyone in the family. Let's see who else is out there. If you haven't, please subscribe to YouTube channel, youtube.com/simplycolorful1, and make sure to subscribe so you get notifications about our FiberCast when it comes on. Ooh, Linda from My Quilt Haven. Hi, Linda. she sends us a note that says, Quilting a Day has the Buckley, the K. Buckley scissors on sale, Karen Buckley scissors, 40% off. So go to, thank you, Linda, for that. That's great to know. Oh, Tanya, we haven't seen you in so long or heard from you. I'm so glad you're out there. Tanya says she's glad to see who or what has been dwelling in the basement for these almost 3 years since we've started this. That was a complete surprise last FiberCast or the FiberCast before, when the Final Notice Band, which my husband is in and they play every Friday night, they all came up and surprised me live at the end of the show. And of course, they were well into getting excited and they'd had a beer or two. They love to play their music. And it was great to have them come up. I tell you, in this week of Thanksgiving, I don't take that for granted. It is nice to have the house full of activity every Friday night. We're so lucky that so many friends come over and do that with us. I'm going to set up a separate phone line, a FiberCast phone line that we can use on a Friday night, and literally to get us started, maybe I'll have a FiberCast devoted to asking questions about, asking quilting questions. And have you call in and have everyone else listen to the caller's call. Let's see how that works. I'm reluctant to hand out my current phone number too much, to tell you the truth, because I use it for my job, so I really shouldn't be doing that. I think that would be a hoot. I'd also someday, when I watch my Adam Carolla, and I know I talk about him, I need to get more on-air video host to follow, but I love how he's built his studio and they're always wearing the headphones and they speak into the speaker. Whew, this is going to take forever. I had a feeling this wouldn't be the most exciting FiberCast. Look at this. Look at how much more I have to do. I can remember my sister doing this, and she said it was kind of boring. I remember her saying that. Oh, keeps going. Look at this. Brother. Actually, no, Bernina. Oh. Are you kidding me? That's how much more I have to go. We have to go because we're in this together. So you know what I haven't said yet? Grab a project and do your own sewing with me, because it's amazing what we can get done in 60 minutes. To say hello to Colleen out there. Colleen wrote me a nice note saying that she's still out there and she's been doing lots of good things, having fun in her life, finding more fun and joy in her life. So that's great. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for our own fun. I thought of setting up Facebook Live along with this, like I could set up the PC there and we could stream it 2 ways. I'm glad I didn't do that today, because can you imagine? That would double the sewing pleasure of just, this is not very exciting to watch. I'm sorry about that. But you know, really, I think that might be part of quilting too, is there is a repetitiveness to it. There's a rhythmic nature to it. Gets you into that zone, the flow zone. In fact, the other day I was listening to sports radio. Bob had left it on in the car. And they were talking about Robert Kraft, who owns the New England Patriots. And apparently he has a hobby. They were talking about hobbies and getting into that flow zone. And neither of the people, the commentators, had such a hobby. They were talking about Robert Kraft, how he likes sneakers. I guess he has a big collection, and literally people, I don't know if he's one of them, but people have been known to go and stand at the big Nike store when a new version of Nike comes out to get the first editions, or just like anything, right? And these sports commentators were saying, although now that I'm thinking about it, sports could be their Zen thing, or what gets them into a state of forgetting about time and place. And so maybe they're not so bad, but when they were saying that they didn't have flow, they didn't have a hobby like that, I thought to myself, how unfortunate, because I don't know, I'm so glad that my parents encouraged in us the ability to go entertain ourselves, to find art, do creative things, because really the older we get, the more we need to rely on those things to make our lives meaningful. Now, I probably have gone overboard in my love of fiber and quilting. It's just what I find makes me happy. The flip side is I don't do a lot of other things. I wish I read more. I was thinking the other day, I wish that there wasn't you're gonna laugh. Jean, if you're out there, Jean to Infinity. Or Chris, because Chris is a big reader too. I almost wish there was an adult class to teach adults how to discover the joy of reading. Isn't that funny? I don't know if I need to talk to other people about the book that I read, but I don't think so. My mind seems to wander when I start to read a book. I'm hoping that after I stop working full-time, that my mind I'll have more of an appetite for the written word in book form. Because right now, I scan information all day long, every day. I think all of us are starting to, or a lot of us are consuming information that way now. And I'll give you for example. Just through email, I will get streams of email notifications, little snippets, summaries of books. It'll come through my email all day long. And that's where I get an update. Then when I go to buy the magazine that I bought last night. So I bought The Economist. I sat down and thought, okay, I really have always enjoyed these articles. They go in depth. A lot of them, the foreign politics and world news and all of that, I am just learning. I don't have much context within which to put what I'm reading about, but I've always enjoyed it. It's been well written and it just goes deep, and I skip over things I don't understand, but slowly enjoy it. Well, I found myself having a hard time concentrating on it last night. So, but I tried, and I made it through once I really got a little more disciplined. But anywho, if anyone knows of an adult book reading club, now I'm sure most of you are laughing. I know many of my friends, not only are they big readers, but like Sarah and Chris are writing their own books. And many of you have written your own books, which I think is so great. Dawn Stewart has proven that it can work. Bestseller on Amazon with her 300 quilting tips. Go check that out, Dawn Stewart. It's one of those books you want to have on your library shelf. Not to mention, Dawn is a wonderful person. It's twisting, but we're getting there. Now we're getting into the greens. This is pretty anyway. We haven't run out of thread. Oh, exciting news on the Alaska front. My niece Alexa, my sister's daughter Alexa, has gotten a full-time job working up at one of the fish hatcheries. So she's a scientist up there, and we couldn't be more proud of her. It's a long ways away, but besides that, we're so glad she's up there. And wouldn't it be a hoot if someday she sends us a picture of what she's making up there? Because a little birdie told me she might be starting to sew up there. She's in Cordova, which is what little reading I've done so far. Go back to reading, right? Is a fishing village of 2,300 people or so. It's up near where the Exxon Valdez spill was 20 plus years ago. Which is kind of a shame that that's how it's going to be known. But it's, you can't get there other than by ferry or plane. There aren't any streets that go into it. So of course, as soon as I heard that she got a new job, and I was down visiting my mother, and we were doing last week. Oh, I haven't told you about that, have I? We had a great time. We gathered lots of wreath-making greens in the 2 big trucks, and the weather couldn't have been more beautiful. But as soon as we heard, we were checking for flights to go to Alaska, because unfortunately, Alexa won't be able to come home for Christmas, which is fine. That's what we want the next generation to do, right? Go out and explore the world. And then come back and tell us about it. The flights were expensive, so just to finish up on that thought, just so you know, I could find a flight from Boston to Cordova, Alaska, for about $900 in the December timeframe. I think that went down in the winter it was probably less. But anyway, the problem is, and that's expensive, right? That's a commitment. There weren't, of course, any direct flights. You had to go through LAX or Seattle, Washington, and Alaska Air, which is headquartered in Seattle, takes you up the last bit. They seem to be the primary carrier. The problem is it takes forever to get there. And I know Sarah and Steve who had been up there recently said as much. It's a commitment. But everyone who's been there says it's worth it. Not to mention, how cool would it be to see where she works and what she's doing with salmon. I think it's just salmon that she's working on. As I understand it, it is a cooperative amongst fishing companies to repopulate the salmon population. This goes on forever. And it's all getting twisted, but I can untwist it as we go. There is no way you could get this done in 1 hour. See how it's twisting here? So I guess at the end, we will cut it and let the twist run out, if that makes sense. Oh, I pulled out another UFO that I wanted to show you. Or remind everyone of it's a pinwheel quilt. No, what is it? I don't remember which one it is. But remember this one? And how it has the pretty peach minky background? It's quilted somewhat. I would like to do a little more quilting of it, although it's puff-like. It's not going to be, it's lovely. So I just have to really hem it or put the binding on it. And then I can call that another UFO done. Would that be good? I will be happy to do that. Okay, that was a nice little reprieve. We will go back to racing our jelly roll. Two nights ago, we went out to eat at a place called the Punch Bowl, which was in Austin, the downtown area. Austin apparently has grown tremendously fast a lot in the last 10, 15 years. In fact, where we went to have dinner apparently wasn't there 10 years ago, and they had all sorts of stores. Neiman Marcus, Arhaus Furniture, A-R-H-A-U-S, I think is how you spelled it. That looked lovely. I would have liked to have gone in there. Macy's. Punch Bowl restaurant was really cool. It was a restaurant / games. So there were people in a bar, really, but it was big, open. Everything in Texas is true. For Patty down there, it's true, except for those blue bonnets, although when you get a lot of them, they're big. Everything in Texas is big. This restaurant was big high ceilings, many different areas where you, around a bar, and they had tables, and then you could play ping pong, you could play pool, you could bowl. And the food was so delicious. You're not going to believe this. I had quinoa and kale and pickled pepper with radish and mushrooms. What else did I have in it? It was vegan and gluten-free. And I tell you, I ate that. I felt better after eating that than I have in days. I don't want to get ahead of myself. In days. It was delicious. They put like an Asian ginger vinaigrette type sauce on it, or dressing. Oh, and a poached egg right on top. And I was thinking later on that it was a poached egg without the egg yolk. It's delicious. So when I say vegan, maybe it wasn't vegan, maybe it was vegetarian. It had a V next to it. Oh my goodness. I want to make sure and call out and say hi to everyone. Say hi to Sue, probably still enjoying her cubby's win. Colleen again, a couple of Colleens, Kathy, Joyce, oh, Pat Hinga, Pat, this necklace you made me? Pat made me this beautiful necklace. I love it. I wore it when I presented yesterday. And it was my good luck charm. It looked great with my suit, actually. I really liked the look, so thank you. I love it. The jade beads. Anywho, I thought I would put it on for this FiberCast for more good luck. I will take it off before I go out and rake leaves. So this is Thanksgiving week, and we are going to be hosting again. We've got all the chafing dishes. I saw another one arrive since I was gone. I don't know where that came from. As you know, Bob's been finding them around New England. And one turkey was in the sink when I got home last night, thawing or unthawing. No, thawing. One thing I have to do is I need to go buy ingredients for our pies. I'm going to do pecan, even though pecans up here are so expensive, but is there any faster, bigger dose of sugar that you can get than a pecan pie? I don't think so. Yum. We'll do pumpkin, we'll do mince. Well, will we do mince? No one ever eats mince. We might. We'll do a couple of apple. It'd be nice if we had some fresh blueberries or a fresh fruit. We'll do a lemon meringue. It's all good. 20 quilters doing this jelly roll race. Look at how much I still have. But the next pass will only be half as long. Maybe we could do a raffle with 3 quilts together. Like this quilt, maybe this quilt, and maybe I have another lap size quilt we could throw in. That might be a fun raffle to enter. Because, and I'll tell you why. Let's say I saw that. That would be 3 baby gifts I could give to someone else if I won that raffle, right? Or housewarming quilts. Ooh, this is pretty. Purples and yellows together. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see? I was noticing on the back of the quilt, the sunlight from the doors are coming in onto the quilt. It's a pretty day out there. This much more to go. How are we doing here? Who was out there? Hey, KB. Hello. KB, and I only say that she sent a Snapchat. So she might be in the leaves somewhere. In the leaves, in the leaves. Oh, this does get twisty. Well, we're back. Did you enjoy that commercial break? I just had something happen to me that has never happened. I seriously forgot that the camera was on. I have no idea how long that was. I really don't. Oh, it couldn't have been that long. Oh, you guys. So, are we all getting enough done? I know the Saturday before a holiday weekend, I realize there probably aren't too many of us with the time on a Saturday morning to quilt, but at least this will be there, and I hope I can keep you company whatever time it is that you end up watching this. And just, isn't it so fun to just be in the fabric? So here's what I'm going to do. See how twisty this is now that I'm at the end? So that I can get rid of the twist, I'm cutting that, and then the twist can just run right out. Mucho better. See how the twist just, we can run it right out. There we go. Okay, let's keep going. That was pretty funny. And you know what I was thinking about? Smart cities. There's this whole movement, I believe I've talked about it before, about using technology to make lives better in cities or communities or schools or libraries. And the technologies that they talk about to help do that are called smart technologies. So it's things like putting sensors in streetlights to know when no one is there in the middle of the night, the traffic patterns, why have a red light? You can leave that open. Or there are just so many things. Putting sensors in your air conditioning so that, or your light fixtures. So when no one's in the room, there's no movement, they shut off, all that stuff. We have to integrate all that data together, and then you can really start making life amazing. You can have those conveyor belts going around the world carrying goods from place A to point B. I mean, eventually we'll have self-driving cars, we'll teleport ourselves to different places, real Star Trek type stuff. But between here and there are so many individual projects going on. Like I'm going down to DC the week after next to talk to a big federal subcontractor about a weather application they've built. And this weather app has ways, sensors out there that are gathering data that they're claiming is better than what, this can't be right, what NOAA is collecting or other big weather data collectors are collecting. So it'll be interesting to see. And that'll be one app on our smart city offering. And that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about how can you really communicate this vision of what a smart city is when, in fact, you don't really know what it is yet. So I think we have to start backwards and start thinking about, well, what in a fantasy land would a better life look like? Man, I did not do a good job of cutting this. So anyway, drivel, I know. Look at what we just did, finally. Okay, now what I'm going to do though, in the essence of time, is I'm going to clean this up. That was not good because then look at how much I wasted. But I'm going to hold this and we're just going to go back to the beginning. Again, there are many tutorials about the Jelly Roll Race that we're making here online. Go look at one, you'll get the idea within minutes. I clearly am not going to finish this hour of FiberCast, but at least you get a feel for what it's going to look like. I promise I won't be doing this next week. I'll get this done Maybe I'll be making doll clothes for my doll. Whatever it is, the key is that we just get in the studio, no matter what or where our studio is, and we just do something for 60 minutes. See? So now I have two sets. Oh boy, look at that. That's going to be a lot of yellow right there. That's interesting to me. When I hear the dog. Now I'm going to put them together. And we're just going to sew another seam. Then again, this will be half as long. So let's see. I'm not even going to iron it. Well, that might be a mistake. I don't know. And at this point, you don't have to cut anything off because there's enough variation, I guess, in the jelly roll. Yay! This is more fun. Now it's looking like a bigger piece of fabric already. These pale colors will be pretty in the spring. They're very Eastery. I just remembered there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. The time 100 pictures. So if you haven't been there, oh good, we have 4 more minutes. If you haven't yet, make sure to look up the time 100 pictures. And thanks to one of my coworkers, Breck, for telling me about this. But these are the most influential images of all time. And search for 100photos.time.com. And you get things like, ooh, Jackie Onassis from 1971. Oh, I guess I can't click on it. I was hoping I could click on it. Let me try again. Oh, now what? Oh, how cool. Windblown Jackie, 1971, photographed by Ron Galila. He says, quote, "On the corner, I did a brilliant thing. I took a taxi because you have to hide to get the off-guard picture." And she looks beautiful in that picture. Kind of scary that he was stalking her. But she was young. People simply could not get enough of Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, the beautiful young widow of the slain president who married a fabulously wealthy Greek shipping tycoon. She was a public figure with a tightly guarded private life, which made her a prime target for the photographers who followed wherever she went. And none was as devoted to capturing the former First Lady as Ron Galila. Galila. One of the original freewheeling celebrity shooters, Galila created a model for today's paparazzi with a follow and ambush style that ensnared everyone from Michael Jackson and Sophia Loren to Marlon Brando, who so resented Galila's attention that he knocked out 5 of the photographer's teeth. But Galila's favorite subject was Jackie O, whom he shot to the point of obsession. It was Galila's relentless fixation that led him to hop in a taxi and trail Onassis after he spotted her in New York City's Upper East Side in October 1971. The driver honked his horn and Galila clicked his shutter just as Onassis turned to look in his direction. I don't think she knew it was me, he recalled. That's why she smiled a little. The picture, which Galila proudly called my Mona Lisa, exudes the unguarded spontaneity that marks a great celebrity photo. It was the iconic photo of the American celebrity aristocracy, and it created a genre, says the writer Michael Gross. The image also tested the blurry line between news gathering and a public figure's personal rights. Jackie, who resented the constant attention, twice dragged Galila to court and eventually got him banned from photographing her family. No shortage of others followed in his wake. Wow. Okay, let's look at one more. Again, you have to do this, and this is how we're going to close out FiberCast. You have to go to 100photographs.time.com and look at 100 of the most influential photos of our time. And let's get one that's totally different. Muhammad Ali. Oh, we've all seen the Eisendrath one. Here, let's... VJ Day in Times Square. Do you remember this one? By Alfred Eisendrath? Eisenstadt? Gee, I need more sleep. That is an iconic. It's Victory Day in Times Square. Let's see if we can... Okay, here it comes. See, you just click on it, and then you get more information about the picture. You get the picture. 1945, Alfred Eisenstadt, quote, "Then suddenly, in a flash, I saw something white being grabbed. I turned around and clicked the moment the sailor kissed the nurse." That's what Alfred said. And it goes down and it says, "At its best, photography captures fleeting snippets that crystallize the hope, anguish, wonder, and joy of life." And it goes on. Well, I tell you, being here with you and having time to do what I love is really one of the joys of my life. So thank you for being here and sharing it with me. I appreciate you coming and watching on a Saturday. We'll be here next Friday night. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We're all very lucky. And I'll see you here Friday night. Bye.